Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is the new Stunner. Now, I've been really excited to get this one in hand. It is a very good-looking knife. Now, this knife is OEM'd, original equipment manufacturer. So the company that built it was Kubi Knives, and I've had a lot of experience with Kubi Knives, and I do like a lot of things that they do and a lot of the knives they make. Now, it's designed by Bade Modern Designs. So I think this is their, I don't want to say their first, but it's, they have a couple designs out there. I will link him down in the description, link his Instagram down there. Now, and anything else down there, the knives, you guys can buy them. They're around $250 a piece. Now let's get into this thing. So we have an M390 Blade. Now I've never tried Kubi's M390. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Titanium frame lock with this hammered finish carbon fiber that looks really good. It might not come over the camera very well, but there's like little dots on it. Like it was beat with a hammer, and that's on both sides. Now, what's really incredible is that there's cutouts on the inside as well. So we have cutouts on the inside and these cutouts for these carbon fiber inlays, which makes this thing incredibly light. It's very, very lightweight for its size. Now, the action, I do have one little issue, and I do want to say that I did not get this brand new. This was sent to me. It originally came from Dave Warren, so I'm not sure how many people's hands it's been through before mine, but the detent is nice, but it is a little bit on the lighter side. I do wish it was a little bit stiffer. Now, I can reliably flip it. Don't get me wrong. Reliably flip it. And it might not even be the detent, but I can easily fail it. Now, it might not be the detent. It has a little bit of a grittiness to it, which I think is what's slowing it down. So, you can actually hear it when it drops. Now, it is fall shut action. And these thumb studs are really nice. I love the way they're placed. I love the size of them. I love how grippy they are. They land right in the perfect spot where my thumb wants to land to deploy them, and the perfect spot for my reverse flick. They are very grippy. They're very good size. They just work out so good. I really like these thumb studs a lot. Now, the jimping on the flipper tab is also extremely well done. It's nice and grippy. It grips you back. You can feel the grippiness to them, which I do like. So it's not slippery or slick at all. The detent, when you unlock it, is right there. So it's nice and early. You can easily get past the detent. And it is smooth other than the grittiness, if that makes sense. Meaning it just falls shut, but I do feel like grittiness. Now, there's no play any direction, rock solid, and nice early lockup. The centering is, this doesn't really matter because I got it, from being used. It's a little tiny bit off, but I can adjust that. I guarantee I can adjust that. Most likely. Now, I am going to do a full review on this. So this is only a first impressions, by the way, guys. It's only a first impressions. I am going to test the geometry and everything. But first impressions, the ergos are hand melting. This is so comfortable in the hand. I don't feel this titanium milled pocket clip at all. And it has a backspacer with a hidden lanyard. But I don't feel that at all. It's super comfortable. It feels very contoured. And it's not contoured, it is flat, but we have these chamfered edges that in return make it feel contoured. Then you also have this nice, beautiful sized forward finger choil. So this is a very comfortable grip as well. Then if you look at the spine of the blade, it is crowned right here. Nice, thick, robust grind, but it does get down to a decently thin edge. Not the thinnest, but it's also not it's very appropriate. Great thinness behind the edge, especially for this robust of a grind, because this is a very robust spine. Then we have the taper down to the tip of the edge, and I like how they did that. I like how it goes from crowned to this flat area and tapers down to the tip. So this is going to be a really nice tip for precision and for strength. So it's going to be tough while not being not effective. It's going to be very, very effective at everything you need to do with it. I love the blade shape, a spear point blade. The tip does land pretty much perfectly aligned with the center of the pivot. So it's going to be very easy to get to for most things. And the forward finger choil is nice and comfortable. It's nice and chamfered around the edges. You know, you can tell they definitely, you know, went and refined every little end they could to make it nice and comfortable in the hand. The jimping is not effective. I don't feel it at all. I think it's just there for looks, which is fine. Now, the plunge grind it does plunge all the way near the edge, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think this will be just fine because, like, say if, you know, when you start sharpening it, when it starts hitting the plunge grind right here, your smile is going to be so small that it's going to be hardly noticeable. So I think it's just fine. I do like that it's T8s all the way around, and there's only the 2 screws aside from the steel lock bar insert. Here is the designer's logo, BMD. You can probably barely see it, but that's his logo. And talking about the steel now, the M390. I've never used or tested Klube's M390, at least not that I can remember. So I can't really speak on how well they do heat treats or how good their M390 is. M390 can be finicky for some companies, so I don't know if I'll be able to test it by the time I do the review. But it does feel like a very solid knife. I do like it. I like the way it looks. I like the blade shape. I love the size. Great size, too. It's like right there in that perfect medium spot where it's a large knife, but it's not overkill. Great size. I like the blade length. It's a perfect length for heavy use and light duty use. Like I said, it's in that happy medium area. This pinch grip is pretty comfortable. The action, very nice. I love these thumb studs. Thumb studs are great. And I like the texture I get from these inlays. They are very nice, and I don't see this too often either, so that's kind of unique, which I do like to see unique things. I'm not a big fan of bead blast. I'd rather it be stone washed or satin, but it is a bead blasted finish, which does match the titanium, but I can't help but wish it was stone washed. Not a big deal. The greens and blues, you can see they don't really match. This probably did match more from the factory, but after being held, anodizing does eventually start getting wore down. And this is probably the color that was freshly under the blue. Now, it comes in multiple different colors, so there's lots of different options with this. But titanium matching different pieces like this, it's very difficult to get them to match perfectly without dyeing them or something like that. But you know, it's close enough to me. I kind of like it. I don't mind it, but you know, I would personally probably get the purple. I'm not sure what Kara would choose. This is her favorite color, but I don't know. She might like the way the purple looks a little bit better. I'd have to ask her. But I do really like this knife quite a bit, and I'm excited to test it out for you guys and see how it holds up and how it does, you know. So watch out for the full review, and I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.